Alrighty, TGIM. Thank goodness it's Monday, traders. It's been another fun-filled day, that's for sure, to start off with. There's all kinds of wild stuff going on out there. Let's get on to the currencies and see what's going on. And we'll jump over to the, where will we jump over to? We'll jump over to the Swissy and see what the Swissy is doing. You can see the dollar is kind of weak, it's just right there, just kind of hanging out, maybe a little bit lower than Friday. So, I'm sorry, no, actually it might be a little bit stronger. No, what is it? Red. Yep, red means down. And so, in the end result is that the dollar is a little bit more weaker. Now let's jump over to it on J4X right there. No, right there. And we'll take a look at the dollar action there at the same time. Some wild articles reconfirming even more that there is some real confusion about where gold and metals are going to be. You can see the cryptos are holding on with a hair of their chinny chins. I'm sure they're going to do much better, of course. I see them as the exit when it comes to, I'm not sure if you can call it a realignment or the adjustment of our new financial markets since 2008. We're going into our 13th year, and it's not exactly the best year, is it? 13 years. 13 makes people nervous, that number. But we are going into our 13th year of the central banks and the Federal Reserve being the buyer of last resort. They have trillions, not billions, not millions, trillions with a T, invested into some very weak equity. And they're propping it all up, and you can see how Deutsche Bank is doing, and Citibank and Santander. You can see the banks that went out of business. You see Lloyd's of London and Bank of Scotland and HSBC just motoring along at a very low rate, still in the bankruptcy area, basically, as far as I'm concerned. To see Citibank trading at $60 or $70 is bankruptcy, because they did a 10-for-1 reverse stock split. And that alone right there tells you that, in other words, it's still trading at $6 a share, basically, or $7 a share since 2008. So it came down from $67 down to $2, and now has rallied back to $7. That's not exactly, over a 13-year period, something you want to see from what is allegedly a major bank. Let's go over to the chat line and see. We can see if there's any questions happening this morning on that. Here we go. Here we go. So that's why Doc always says that. We're looking at Deutsche Bank trading in the single digits, same situation, and we see all of them showing a lot of weakness. They're growing slowly, and when you're a bank and the Federal Reserve hands you a $500 million or $2 billion for free every night, and you're making some interest on it, yeah, of course you're going to grow, but you're going to grow at a very, what they refer to as an anemic level. In other words, they're not growing at a great rate. They're growing at a very weak rate. Let's see, why am I not seeing this? There we go. Let's see. I think we got something going on here. Trying to get the webinar up on the. Oh, I see it now. Okay, excellent. Okay, so there we are. There we are. Okay, I can see it. Excellent. And I can hear me. Can you hear me now? Just like the telephone commercials. The webinar up on the. There we go. I see it now. Okay. There we go. We're rocking and rolling. And I see Daniel. School done? Okay, I can see it. You're back in business. Cryptos are back in business. Yeah, they're not going to go anywhere. They're going to survive because they have something to sell. You know what they sell? They sell a new technology of equity. That's what it comes down to. So, and you can see some of the articles we're seeing over the weekend really making it very clear that the cryptos are a new asset class, and they are functioning like old school, which is hard to believe. That you can't get them to say that in English or in words anywhere. But that's what's going on. The cryptos are literally trading like the way it used to be when we had full free markets and we didn't have the central bank central banks and the Federal Reserve running the financial system. That's how it really works. And when you don't hear that from established news organizations like Bloomberg and CNBC and so forth, or Reuters, or even the old the Gray Lady, New York Times, they're cheering it on. In other words, they're saying, "Yeah, this is great. This communism, socialism thing is a really good thing. It works. Capitalism is bad." Yeah, right. So that's pretty much what it comes down to. Is that the cryptos are the last of the free markets. Really, that's what you're looking at. And you don't hear many people say that about cryptos, but Doc sees it. It's very clear. Stock indices, most of them bullish, volatile, pushed down. Well, yeah, that's what the central banks want. They want everything to go up in value. And can they keep on doing that forever? Can they keep on printing money forever? Can they keep on propping up Citibank and Deutsche Bank? I mean, Deutsche Bank, a lot of these things are unwinding. Deutsche Bank used to have the most swaps out of any bank in the world. So they had about $71 trillion worth of swaps. Not billion, not million. They had 71 trillion. And I guess if this was a classroom, I'd say, could anybody name the second most invested bank in swap trading? And how large was their portfolio? And that was Citibank. Citibank had about 68 trillion in swaps. And you see what's happened. We got clocked by the collateralized debt obligation market created by our wonderful Democrat Party here in the United States, and refused to let it go. And poor George Bush kept on whining about it, and up on YouTube complaining in 2005 and 6 and 4, and asking the Democrat Party to tighten the market up. And the lead person was in the footsteps of St. Germain from Rhode Island, the congressman there at that time, was Barney Franks from Massachusetts, who was blocking it and just crowing from the roof how wonderful it is and how great it is. And you notice now he's like quiet, and he gave up his seat in Congress, and he walked away crying, realizing that he had destroyed the world financial system from it. And so that's where we sit now. We're 13 years into quantitative easing. And people say to me, what is quantitative easing? Is it a policy? Someone asked me last week, is that a policy? It's like, yeah, it rules the world now. So that is where we're at. Oh, Daniel says, platinum and Huff. What's Huff? What is HUF? Are appreciating appreciating versus the dollar. And the dollar PLN. Oh, that's not platinum. Or is it platinum? And they're cells. Well, I hear you. Let's see where they're at on our math. We'll see how they look. Let's take a look at it on the J4X. And that would be the dollar, right? So let's see what the dollar looks like on the J4X. And then we'll go find Huff. I don't know what Huff is. We used to do something back in the 60s called huffing. But I don't think it's the same thing. Let's see if we find the dollar index here. I know it's here. We rarely look at it too in J4X, which is kind of curious. We should. I know they put the dollar index up on here somewhere. There it is. And there's the dollar index. It kind of looks sideways. It's holding up pretty well, over the last. You can see where it's at. I mean, it's it hasn't taken out that low of January, and it's just playing with the low of what is that? That is March lows there. We'll see if there's any real. You mean selling? I see. Daniel says appreciating versus the dollar, bullishness, volatility pushed down. Let's see. Versus appreciating versus the dollar sell. Yeah, it's weak. I think we're in a daily. I think we're in a sell. Let's see where my work says about it. Let's go over to that and see. I know that we'll go to fact check spreadsheet. Don't have to look at the chart. Right. Where are you? There it is, right there. Yeah. So we're 6 days in 6 weeks in a buy, and 3 days. No, I'm sorry. We're 6 weeks in a sell, which makes sense because you can see it there. It's been going down, and then we're 3 days in a buy. And let's see how it looks over the last 3 days. You can see it's kind of stalled. And even J4X is showing a little strength here this morning. I did see that notice the euro went into a daily sell last week, but they're holding up in their weekly buys. And let's go check it out. Let's see, what are we looking for here? Oh, the dollar index. Where are you? There's a mouse around here somewhere. A mouse in the house. There's a mouse in the house. There it is. And let's go find the dollar right there. There we are. And let's perk that up. There we are. You can see the last couple of days it's been kind of sideways. Last 4 days or so, it's been relatively sideways. Maybe last 5 days. You can see it's flirting with a weekly buy now today. We'll see if that holds up. So it looks like maybe we're getting towards the end of that selling. See that right there? Right there. And let's change that color to green. Let's make that like so. There we are. So you can see we're starting to get some buying in the dollar there. I don't know how much buying we're going to really see. You know, it's just sloppy action more than anything else. Let's see. Oh, the Zolti. That's what it is. The PLN. Let's see. The Zolti is a great product. Oh my God, what a great product that is. There it is, right there. Yeah, on the fact check spreadsheet. Where are we? Let's see, which mouse is that? There it is, right there. Fact check spreadsheet, line 18, is it? No, that's ruble. 16. That's what it is. 2 weeks in a buy, 7 days in a sell, and let's move that over like that. Move that there. And you can see here, we've been in a sell for a while here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a lot longer actually, isn't it? Why is our fact check? Maybe that's supposed to be a 9, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Look at that. How did we end up with a 7? Should be 11 in there. Let's double check that. So I went into a sell here. See, we don't really look at, I mean, do we really look at the Zolti much? I don't think we do. Rarely when anybody asks. Let's see. So there's a sell right there. I must have missed something. Didn't go into a buy here. Maybe it did, and they threw a red dot in there another day, something like that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This would be 8. I think that's probably what happened. It probably jumped into a buy here, and then a red dot was thrown out, and I didn't catch it, and so we're sitting 11 days now. Is that the wrong keyboard? 11 days now, right there. Come on, keyboards. Where are you? There's the keyboards. Okay. Oh, I see what's going on. I got to do that. There we are. So it's 11 days in a sell, but it's in 2 weeks in a buy. Is it 2 weeks in a buy? No, 2 weeks in a sell. Wait a minute. Oh, that was the other product we were looking at. That was the dollar index. So yes. So it's no, it says 2 weeks in a buy. How can it be in a buy? Look at the weekly. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What in blazes is going on with our numbers there? Let's fix that. That's 11 weeks in a sell. There we are. Good point. Nice job. Thank you for spotting that, Daniel. Very good. Wow. So it's been 11, is that 11 weeks? Let's double check that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 8 weeks in a sell. Oh, I see. That's what it is. Daily. Let's see how it happens. There we are. Make that 8. So, or this is going on the 8th week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 7 weeks. There we are. There it is. 7. So don't ask me how it had a 2 in there and a 3 or a 7. I guess the 7 made sense. I guess we must have been mixing up our numbers or something. That's really strange. Thank you, Daniel. See, Polish Zolta, yeah. Oh, a Hungarian franc. Oh, let's check that out. I don't think we've ever looked at that. Let's take a look at it in J4X. Sounds cool to me. Hungary has really become very productive, like Poland. There are these. They're like they should call them like the Eastern Europe tigers. They're really doing good jobs. They're really practicing capitalism. They're really, getting involved. So what am I looking for there? That is U.S. Let's see if we can find it here. Huff. In the 60s, people used to huff glue and gasoline. That's what I was thinking you were talking about. So it's USD. Wrong keyboard again. Escape. There. USD. Oh, it's doing that. And then we go slash. And then huff. HUF. HUF. And enter. There it is right there. Cool. Let's see if we can get it on my Chicago Quant. Let's see. File. Let's go to window. We have a lot of products on this thing that we don't even look at anymore. Let's see. We do that. Every so often we go and look at like a British pound against New Zealand. We can switch that. Let's try it in there. So we're looking at add a symbol, cash, USD, look up, and there it is right there. Cool. Huff. I'm a 60s kid, I was in high school in the 60s. So I was like keep on thinking as our sex drug class that we would have back in the 60s. They were trying to chill us out, make us, try to get us under control. It's like, so all I keep on thinking about is huff. Teach us that stuff was bad. Like we really needed a class to tell us that it was bad. We were living around it. We saw people doing stupid things, and some people were just stupid. It's the way they are. All right. So huffing. All I keep on thinking is the huffing. Don't climb underneath an automobile, and try to take gasoline from the gas tank and put it on a rag and huff it. Or when you're at home with glue, don't huff the glue. Okay, here we go. This is pretty cool. Look at this. Now it's been in a weekly sell since back here. That's kind of interesting. I guess that's a positive, right? So it's going down against the dollar. That's strong against the Hungarian currency. The Hungarian currency is getting some strength in it. That's what it comes down to, because it's going down in value. 284. Wow. I don't even know how to react to that. 284. What in? I've never seen a currency like that. There are 284 of them to $1. So it's like their penny. So it's like a third of a cent. Okay. And then the dailies look pretty good too. Here's a buy right there, right? And then it went back into a sell right there. And then it went back into a buy right. Did it go back into a buy again? Let's see. Not there, but right there. Went into the buy right there again. And then it went back into a sell right there. And it caught that whole weakness developing from the weekly sell right in this. And then you gotta figure it went into the sell. And it tried to do a buy there. But you can't take it because you're in a weekly sell. Then it went back into a weekly sell the next day. This is interesting. This is well worth looking at. This is fascinating. And then, let's see. It goes into a buy right there. Right there, goes right back into a buy and shows some strength. And then it goes into a sell. Where's it going into a sell? Right there? Or right there? Right there. Goes into the sell right there. And another winner chicken dinner. 2 winner chicken dinners. That's not bad. and then you catch that ride, and then it right there it goes into the buy off of that one right there. So it goes, where's that at? I just saw it. There it goes into the buy. And literally the next day it goes, no, not the next day, but the following day goes into a sell again, and a 3-0 winner chicken dinner. Nice. Very nice. Oh, wrong color. And dotsies. There we are. And so on Friday, did it go into a buy? It did. It went into a buy on Friday. Right there. And then it went back into, it's playing with a daily sell right there as we speak right now. There we go. So remember, traders, you're in a weekly sell, you don't take the weekly buy, so there's no, you're in a neutral position. You know, that's the way it rolls. And so that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Oh, wait a minute, let's see what we got here. We did have one that went into a sell and went into a buy, so it's 1 out of 4. Okay, so that's what it is. 1 out of 4 was a loss. So that's pretty good. Thank you, Daniel. It's interesting to see the Hungarian. We're going to save that. There we are. Save workspace. There we go. All right. So let's, I guess we get back to it. Unless someone wants to see something and discuss something, we'll go right back to our rhythm. And then anybody can interrupt the rhythm and we can go look at whatever you're interested in. So let's see, we were looking at the dollar against the Swiss, trying to get a feel for where the dollar is. Right now it's sideways up at the moment, but still in a weekly sell, but it has climbed today into the weekly buy after X amount of weeks. Was it 6 weeks, was it? What's the fact check spreadsheet? That's right, at least that one's right. 6 weeks in a sell, but this week it's starting off in a buy. All right, now let's jump over to the euro. As you can see here, we went into a sell on Friday, but you can't take the trade because why, traders? Right, it's in a weekly buy. It's been in a weekly buy now for since that line right here. And so on line 14, that has been 7 weeks in a weekly buy. And now it's trying to get into a daily buy. Here we got a volatility signal more than anything else, but we'll see how they play that out by the end of the day. And then let's take a look at the British pound. And there is the British pound. It's doing the same thing. Went into a sell on Friday. They got a little nervous about Friday, didn't they? But again, same situation. Been in a weekly buy. That's line 13. 5 weeks in a weekly buy. 1, 2. Just move this over a little bit like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And number 6 is starting this week off in a weekly buy. So we're just feeling a little pressure. You can see it's trying to climb into a buy, but notice it's lower than Friday's close. See it right there? Let's give it a refresh too. A control R. There it is. Yeah, it's just a little bit lower. That's why the lettering and the numbering is red, or the numbering is red. Whereas over on the euro, it's green. It's a little bit higher than where it settled on Friday. Let's see, Daniel says it would be fun to do crypto analysis, crypto like Matic, VET, UNI, RNUE, that went up over 50%, some of them. What are they? Are they ETFs? But still happy with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yes. Well, we can jump over there. Let's, what we do is we look at, let's see, we don't need that, so we can close that. Close. And then what we can do is we can put the Coinbase up there. But are those like VET, UNI, RUNE, are they ETFs? Are there more ETFs out there that we can follow? Let's see. Open. Stock combo. And then we'll jump over to Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is in a plus today. I know that. At least it was last I saw it. Let's just take a look. Right there. There's Bitcoin. Yep, see it's green, trading around 38,375. Coming up pretty well. We're still in weekly sells since back here in April. This stuff doesn't want to fill in for nothing. I hate that. And then what we see here is, we see this trying to lift up, but so far this is not turning that around. Just a lot of tough action. We've been in a weekly. We were in a daily sell all the way, all the way down to here. Then the bounce and went back in the daily sell. Opened lower last night from Friday's sell, and now is climbing up. And that's could turn into a loser, not a winner chicken dinner, but a loser. Because if this closes like this, and then comes back down again, that's great. But if it doesn't, no. Best opportunities now are to buy S&P 500 and other indices, also cryptos. The central banks want the stock markets to stay up. So yeah, there's no doubt about that. Since you mention it, let's do this. Let's just take a look at Coinbase. That's the new ETF. And we'll take a look at some of the stock indices you just put up. Let's see, right here. There's Coinbase and an intraday. It is gapping up this morning. See that there? You see the green line is moving up with it. It's been in the sell since right here. And that was a good $6 down or $5 down, something like that. And here's the daily. There's the daily trying to lift up. It did close in a daily sell yesterday. And this is all screwed up because this won't clean itself up until 9:30 Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. So we've still got about 33 minutes, 33 minutes before it cleans itself up. That is where it's trading right now, 230 and change. And we'll see how they treat that and see if they can lift that back up again. Now, what did you say, Daniel? Let's look at S&Ps. Let's see, where's that at? Right there. There's the S&Ps. They went into a weekly sell last week. They're in daily buys, so we're kind of trapped there. It's in a neutral position. We're looking at nice strength here this morning still. And we are, since we sent the charts out, it's now a plus. So it's actually playing with the weekly buy number at the moment. And so let's just change that. Yeah, it was minus when I sent it out this morning. There we are. So it's flirting with the weekly buy, and if it can close over the weekly buy tonight and we're in a daily buy, yeah, you're right. But be very cautious because we're in a very weak daily buy until it confirms it to the end of the week. So that means binaries and options more than hard delta. And see in the other indices, yeah, let's see what the other indices are doing. There is Nasdaq. Nasdaq, same situation. Matter of fact, you can see it's trying to get into it, minus 58, and the 7 is a plus right now. So the 3 in the super on the weekly, turned it off right there, is plus on the white histogram and still minus on the green line. Remember, we're running a super on that because of the beta of it, the way it trades. But it's also in a daily buy now for, what's that, 3 days, 3 solid days. So you're not really getting trapped into anything. And then let's take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Same situation, buy from here. They seem to change that number on Thursday on us. We're leaving it as the buy. And you can see here it is flirting with the weekly buy. That went out in our chart service. That it was flirting with the daily buy, and you can see that strength there this morning. Let's see, Daniel says Grayscale. Oh, you can't see it. Darn it. There we are. Let's see, filed for following trusts: Grayscale, AVE Trust, Grayscale, Condarden Trust, Grayscale. What is Grayscale? Is that it's a trust and so forth. What are they trading? The cryptos? Is that a crypto trader? I'm going to take a little nibble here. I am hungry. Well, you get a chance to tell me what Grayscale is. Maybe I'll look it up and see what Grayscale is. Let's see what grayscale is. Right there. Grayscale. Bitcoin Trust. Okay. Ethereum Trust. I see. So they're buying these things. They're like Coinbase. I see. Okay. I get it. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Robin and I were just talking about that this morning. About these entities that are acting like buyers of last resort now. They're like a clearinghouse, brokerage house, and so forth in the crypto world. That's interesting. There was a real nasty article out there over the weekend. How the China, the People's Bank of China, Mrs. Yellen, our Secretary of Treasurer, International Monetary Fund, and Christine Lagarde, the attorney running the ECB. Did you know that the ECB could go bankrupt? See, whereas the Federal Reserve can't go bankrupt. The ECB, the way it's set up, it actually could go bankrupt. Isn't that weird? No wonder they put a lawyer there. They know they're in trouble. But she's not doing too many good policies. I understand they were looking at the bond rates since she's taken over, and they've gone up. They've doubled in price, like, you know, from a minus to, you know, a higher number or something like that. I don't know. So the world is on the edge, I can tell you that. Things are whack. Now the Federal Reserve can't go bankrupt, so they can just keep on floating money out to help the other central banks. And then what else? They like the repos and so forth. And then how else can they play it? I guess, you know, they can try to keep on propping them up until something changes. I mean, this is really weird stuff at the moment. I mean, we're in our 13th year of quantitative easing. That was supposed to you know, take care of things for 2 years and be done. Instead, we're 13 years into it now. They just refuse to let go of it. More companies should have gone bankrupt. Like Citi should have been forced to go bankrupt. And the problem is that they had those swaps. Can you imagine going bankrupt with all those swaps on? I mean, $71 trillion. That would have been like, you know, Lehman Brothers in, you know, multiple times uglier. Let's see, from all the billionaires in the world would have probably gone bankrupt. That would have been a drag for them, huh? You see who the governments are really protecting. Let's see. Grayscale holds a bit over $35 billion in cryptos. From their May 2021 report, Bitcoin 25 billion, Ethereum 8 billion, Digital Large Cap Fund 421 million. Yeah, wow. Well, what was that? You got to figure that. Let's look at that stuff. Let's just look at 2000. Let's do it on J4X. Let's look at Bitcoin. We use that as like the primer, you know. And let's look at Bitcoin through J4X right there, and put the weekly up right there. And let's look at this year. So you're looking at right here where that line is, right? That is January. So all it did is take profits away, the selling. I'm not counting if someone took profits. You know, and you can see it. We've been in a weekly sell in Bitcoin for 7 weeks now, right there. And you can see the what do you call that? The J4X, the Hinky Ashy, has been in a weekly sell, I guess you could say, for 3 weeks because of that. You know, because you had that green one there. So, you know, but you can see it's been diving down. The two stochastics have been fighting for, I guess it's been in a minus and then went into a plus here and then back into a minus. And then, so I don't think I can even generate a weekly on mine. I mean, that's the problem with the Bitcoin in the United States. It's just so illiquid, and it just does not reflect very well going. So that's why it won't even fill in on a simple gas 3, on gas line 3. But that sounds. Thank you for that information. I heard from Wilco this morning. Wilco was, talking about the pain that was involved. I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet. I told him I'd talk to him after the webinar. It just shows you the pain that's been going on in the cryptos, but then it's not too bad when you look at it through the J4X. They're only giving up profits, so that's not bad. That's fine, and if you can't take profits, how many times have I said, traders, if you have a position on, you're making money in it, if you don't take profits when you're making money, the next time you're selling it is when you're losing money. So, you got to take profits too. You reduce your position as it rises, not increase your position as it rises. That's how you make money. I think they refer to the other one as cannonballing. Jumping off a diving board, and you do the cannonball into the pool. And they say that when you average up, you get in trouble. You get cannonballed. Hey, 47, how you doing? But wow, that was really good information there, Daniel. Thank you. See, this is the trading pit. That's what it is. We have conversations. Right or wrong, we have conversations. It doesn't matter. It's all good. GBPJPY. Okay, let's check that out. Let's go over to that. Let's see, right there. BPJPY. There's AUD. I'm sure we're still keeping it. There's Swiss. How come we don't have it? We'll put it up on the AUD. We have Canadian JPY. Okay. Let's put that in there. Let's see. Right there. Excellent. And right there, as I take a nibble of some peanuts. We're hungry this morning. My stomach is growling. All right, there we go. Now let's tighten that up and show it on the screen. There we go. There we go. Let's give it a refresh. So, wow, it's been in a buy. Okay, went into a sell there. And it went into a buy. Oh, that's interesting. Right there. This big long buy that was in October. I guess that's why we made that line so thick at the time. We must have been having a conversation about it. So we went into the buy all the way back in October and stayed in a buy all the way until April. And now I guess it's back into the buy again, right? Let's take a grab a hold of that right there. And then, let's see, on the daily, we can work backwards, I guess. So there's a buy there. We need to widen this now, be able to see what it's doing short term. So there's a buy there off that gap. And then we finally see a sell right there, I guess Friday. That's what it is right there. So we'll put that there. There's a sell. See, that's a winner chicken dinner. And then the sells, we will focus on the sells through the sell on the weekly. So like that one, that was a loss. Ow. No, I guess not. It made money on there. You just have to be fast. It was a 24-hour trade. Then there's your buy again. And we're going to change that color to red. And then, so that was a win. And then it goes into a sell there. Does it make a new low? At least it saves you from that crazy. Oh no, it doesn't, does it? No, you get your head handed to you there. So there's another one that's tough. And now it's doing a sell there. Sounds like it's coming to the end or something, doesn't it? Then let's see what else. Then in the buy, So you give up some monies from the buy signal. Let's see. How do we do this? Like, there's the buy. So that's the first buy right there. That was cool. There's your profit taking right there. And there's a buy right there. Nice win. Boy, it's short-lived. You notice a lot of these sells occur. Where's that? There's a sell. Oh, look at that ugliness. There's a loss out of that. Look at that. No, it's a buy. I'm sorry. You don't take the sell. I'm sorry. You're not taking the sell. So that's okay. We're in a weekly buy. So that puts you into the buy there, and you only catch those 2 days out of it. That's all. So out of the spike. And then let's move some of these over like that. And we'll fix it all the way, and you'll be able to see how well it did. It's a little tough trading, isn't it? It gets that wild spiky thing going on every so often. So there's the sell right there. And then it goes into a buy. Where's it going to a buy? Right here. And then we'll move it over a little bit and use those other lines. So then it goes into a sell right here. And that lasts for 2 days, and then goes into the buy there. You can be long, not short. And it gives you victories for 2 days, 3 days. And then actually puts you in a sell up in here, which is interesting. That's the sell. So you can't you're not taking that sell because we're in a weekly buy. Then you go into a buy here. And then, let's see. There's your sell there. And then that buy is right there. That's another winner. But this is a tough thing because look at those couple spikes that it had. They were pretty wild. And luckily you didn't have to be in them. But like there's a buy there. And then you need to put the short here. That was no, it's not a winner because it's in a weekly buy. But at least you don't get your head handed to you. This particular product seems to be one of those where it reminds me of the Turkish lira, the Euro Turkish lira, where you don't get a lot of trades out of it, but it's very accurate. You know, I think that's what's interesting about this. So those spikes come with, you're in a weekly buy during them, but you're not catching them because it's not putting you into the position there. Let's see, where is it at? Let's see. Yeah, so how's that? Does that help out? And then you can see here, 47. You can see here it goes into the. What does it do? That's not a sell. And then there is a buy right there, and that sell is right there. And again, you don't take it because of that. And then you're back into a buy, and it's another win. And then it gives you a sell here, which is okay. You know, it's not bad. Unfortunately, I think it throws you into a buy and then a sell again, which is okay. So on this close here, so if you buy this thing here and you take some of the profits out of it and then put a stop in, that's what I'm always saying with the hard delta, is that you buy this here and then you take some profits on the trade up in here and then take some of those profits and put a stop in, that the worst you're doing is giving up your profits, then it's okay. But if you're trading the options, you don't have as much of pain out of it, that's all. And then you can see that's a nice sell-off, but you're not catching it because, again, we're in a weekly buy. And then it goes into the daily buy right here and catches a nice ride, and it throws you back into a daily sell right there. Let's put that in there. And that's a fantastic sell-off right there. And it actually pushes you into to catch some of that, I guess, up in here somewhere. No, not really. Because it throws into a daily buy, it goes into the weekly sell out of that and goes into a daily buy right there. And then you can catch it. You get your first chance to take a profit, or make a profit. And that is, you can't take the long on this one, but you can take the short. And again, it does the same thing. Opens lower or trades lower, you have a chance to take some profit and then put a stop in on the hard delta. and then from there it goes into a buy here. You can't take the long. Yeah, it's a lot like the Euro Turkish Lira situation with the GBPJPY. And then you've got this situation here where it pushes you into a sell here. Again, it's lower than the close. The close is what? It's 51.50, and the low is 51.26. Is that right? Yeah, 51.50. So it makes 24 pips. So I mean, if you bought 10, you bought it and took 10 pips, and then put a stop in to protect the rest of it 10 pips higher or 8 pips higher, at least you get stopped out of it. You don't get in trouble. And then in this case here, it goes into the buy here. You can't take that long. And then you actually lose here. You know, I mean, it's pretty vicious if you don't use good money management. So that's interesting. It's an interesting product. Which is again? GBPJPY. That's interesting. And you can see here, it's since we started talking about it, let's widen this a little bit. It looks like it's flirting with, it's the gas line, no, not that. The gas line is trying to get into the plus again, right? No, maybe it just did it right there. Look at it, minus 0.01. So it's really tight. Even plot 4 is 0.01. Now it's flat. And it's in a buy. So I mean, if this would, you know, get into a buy and it would be green, that type of thing, you know, you could get long into that thing. All right, there you go. That's pretty cool. Doc loves doing that. This way we can show how to read Doc's math and how to do money, you know, do good money management at the same time. You know, it's a combination of both. It's a very educational thing. It fascinates me to be able to see it and learn about a new product, and at the same time, you know, we get a chance to actually talk it out loud, you know. I think that's always positive. All right, see, where did we go from there? Where did we leave off? We saw cable and we saw euro. Oh, we got to go over to Turkish lira. I think it went into a sell on Friday. It went into a daily sell, but it was flirting with a weekly buy, right? Let's see, where's it at? Line 17. So we are 2 weeks in a buy and 1 day in a sell. See it there on the fact check spreadsheet? So now let's go over and take a look at it. And let's give it a refresh too. Maybe it'll help more. There we are. And so, no, didn't go into us. Now what is that? That's Friday. So it went into a sell there. We can put a little red line in there for that. Right there. And right there we are. And so it's widened this a little bit for you. So it goes into the sell there on Friday. We're in a buy, so you can't take the trade. And it's holding up pretty well in here. The white line is trying to battle its way back into above the time manifold. Now let's take a look at it through the eyes of the euro, right there, against the Turkish lira. You can see it's flirting. Let's give it a refresh too. It looks like it's flirting with the daily sell today finally. And so it went into a buy here on Friday, and we're in a weekly buy. And it's pretty much, you can see it's red on the close and the last and all like that. So it's obviously down. It closed on Friday at 10.2583, and it's trading at 10.2489. So it's down a full little handle there, maybe. I don't know. It's down. Let's put it that way. And so you see, is it flirting with the sell there? Let's move that over and see what that is. No, look at that. Plot 1 is 0.00. Okay, so it's flirting with the buy still, too, and it's got a green dot now. It just jumped out. And look at plot 4 is 0.0004. Remember, we can get that into the atomic level of my work. We can go out 5, 6, 7 digits. Definitely get wild. We can go out like 15 digits. Remember, I built this thing, created this math formula to deal with the Higgs situation back in '77. So I was definitely fighting with something, trying to measure an atomic particle without interfering with it at the same time. That is what we were trying to do. Not view it, as long as we could view something without interfering with it. Now that's the question: is how do you see something without interfering with it? Well, that's a good question. I was taking some old numbers and trying to put them together in a relativistic way and invented this thing. Used Mr. Euler to get us over the threshold, and a little topology. Let's see, with Gauss, Mr. Gauss and Mr. Euler. I'm putting their works together. Let's see now. There is that, I guess. So it's still holding on to the daily buy, which is right there. Right there? No, right there. It's holding on to the daily buy and a weekly buy. Woo, it's tight. Tight, tight, tight. All right, now, where do we go from here? Jump over to Canadian. There it is. See what they're doing to the Canadian today. Let's give it a refresh, too. Canadian's been a daily buy and gone down, going the wrong way. But again, we're in a weekly sell. So money management would protect you with our numbers. And then now, look at that. It's got a green dot, and it's just minus by the hair of its chinny chin. On Friday, it closed at 120.69. It's trading at 120.64. It's just 4.5 ticks or 5 ticks, something like that. So it's just kind of sloppy as all get out. And it don't know if it wants to go up or down, does it, on a daily basis? But it's one thing's for sure. The weekly's been clear and precise. You know, went into that sell up in the 124s, up in here. And is that the 124s? Yeah, the 124s. Actually, 125s. Went into a weekly sell in the 125s. And here we are trading in the 120s. So that's pretty cool. It kept us pretty honest. Kept us relatively safe. That's the whole idea about our technical analysis. We don't want no explosions. All right, and then we've done the Swiss franc. So then from there we go over to what we've been looking at lately. We always look at this as like an energy thing. We look at Canadian against the dollar as an energy pairs trade, and we look at now we look at the Euro Canadian as a pairs trade, and we look at the loonie, the NAS. The New Zealand against the Canadian as a pairs trade to try to give us an idea of where the oil market is going. In this case here, it says it's going sideways, sideways down, I guess you could say. And then let's look at the Euro CAD. Where's Euro CAD? It's here somewhere. There it is, right there. See how that looks. And so I think when this thing is rising, that says there's strength in it, I guess. But you can see here it's went into a daily sell on Friday, but it's up today. There we are, like that. No. Right there. There we go. So you can see that's there. And we've been in the sell since the 149-ish area, 150-ish area. And you can see it's driven it down into the 146 area. And you can see here it's trying to lift up a little bit here today, but the gas line 3 is manifolds are all feeling the pressure, and the histogram is feeling the pressure, and you can see the weekly obviously is in the pressure. So then, so what's that say about oil? I guess it's saying oil's been rising. I guess it's saying it's sideways today. Let's see what oil's doing here. Oh, let's take a quick look at the NASCAD. NASCAD. I saved it and sent it out, but I didn't really look at it that close, so I don't have a grasp on it. There's the NASCAD. Trying to rise. I would say that they're trying to get up. You can see it's heading down. So oil has been heading down with the NASCAD. And you can see here it's trying to lift also. So maybe oil is sideways up. Let's see what that's going on here. Let's go to there and take a look at crude oil. Right there, July oil. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. They're flirting with the weekly buy. I knew it was doing something positive. But the daily is being real sloppy about it. And so, it was a winner chicken dinner, and now it's like, I'll take your hands, I'll cut your finger off instead. Well, that's a heck of a move. So Friday, let's give this a refresh. Friday it closed where? Yowzer. It closed in a sell. This is a 100% get your head handed to you out of our math. And let's take that and move that over like so. There we are. That alone's trying to tell you to cover at this point. Stay out of this sucker. And when is this going to get into a daily buy? I don't want that to jump into a daily buy to believe it. Maybe they're going to sell it again, down again tomorrow. I don't know. But traders, cover yourself. Don't wait around for this disaster. Look at that. It closed in the 61.94, almost 62. And it's trading now at 64.5 and has touched almost 65. That's a $4 move. Oil is up $4 today? Wow. Wow. Boy, has our math rarely ever gone so wrong. My goodness. Look at, like, I mean, you know, you just gave away that whole nice win right there. Wow. Or that, you know, that nice win right there. Look at that. It's almost matching up. If we put lines on it, it's taking away that win. And then you can see another line like that. It's taking away that nice win you had like 3 weeks back, you know? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. At least you have this win. But there you go. We got to be wrong once in a while, traders. This is just one of the more uglier ones we've seen in a long while. 8.5 out of 10, we were right. But there's the 1.5. Ouch. Ugh. Violence. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. What a way to end this webinar, my goodness. On a loss from Doc. Ow! Oh, it has to happen, traders. Can't be 100%. It just doesn't work that way in life. You know, the math can keep you pretty safe 8.5 out of 10 times, but once in a while it goes back and takes some of that money you banked. That's why you got to take those profits and do your thing. All right, this is Doc from North America. We will catch you tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Everybody have a safe and smart day and trade wisely. All right. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Ta-ta for now.